Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back to my channel. It's a wrap, aka Yudi here. And we're back. It's another book review. Let's get into it. Okay, y'all, I'm using natural light and then I also have my ring light. The natural lighting is coming in and out, like it's foggy, then it's not foggy, so bear with me, guys. But hello, we are reviewing Rootless by Krystle Zara Appiah. And let's not waste any time. This book actually, I think this video is going to come out a little bit before the book releases. I actually signed up for a giveaway on Goodreads and I won a advanced physical copy of this book. And I also have an advanced copy from NetGalley. But on the copy I have, it says it goes on sale April 11th. But when I was looking on Amazon, it says you can start ordering it or it publishes on March 7th. So just that caveat. I'll have it linked down below. But yes, today we're reviewing Rootless. Rootless is about the couple F.A. and Sam, who, when we come into the novel, Sam has come home to his London flat to see that F.A. has pretty much abandoned him and his young child, Olivia, to go back to Ghana. We don't know why she's left. He doesn't know why, quote unquote. He doesn't know why, but there's pretty much a clue. And yes, so we come into the story at that point in their relationship, and then from there, the author works back from when they meet as teenagers, when F.A. moves from Ghana to London, and she meets Sam, and it pretty much follows their lives from that day 19 years ago up until the moment, and a little bit after that moment, up until the moment that Sam finds out that his wife has left him. So, initially, how did I feel about this book? I was really excited about this book. As if you haven't seen my books I anticipate reading in 2023, Rootless was one of those books. I was very excited. The synopsis, right up my alley. I love a good slice of life. Is that the right word? But just a book that really eloquently tells a story that is very human, very real, and just does it very reflectively and poetically. And I was just like, this book is kind of giving that. So I was very excited. This is also the debut novel for Krystle Zara Appiah. So yeah, I was very excited for this book. So yeah, this book mainly touches on mental health, marriage, motherhood. Motherhood is a big one, especially for F.A., and how she feels like she's not that great of a mother, and it really plays a number on her that she feels like she doesn't want kids. She feels like she's not a good mother. She's constantly worried that something terrible is going to happen to her child. And she really struggles. She feels like she's falling behind. And while Sam just is really happy to have a child and he really wants to work it out, he really wants to have this family with F.A. And pretty much when they have this first child, that's when, F.A. has always been struggling with her own, personal mental health issues, even before they start this family. But I don't think bringing the child really brings on a whole new, roller coaster ride of her navigating her mental health. I didn't hate this book, but I was kind of let down. I was a little bit let down, mostly by the end. This is not a fast-paced book at all. If anything, it's slow. It took me a while to read this, and I think it's a little under, I think it's like 370 pages. 344. Yeah, it's not like an extremely dense, long read, but it is quite like it's not really fast paced. There's not a lot happening. It's a lot of character development. It's a lot of learning about Effie and Sam and what exactly has led them to the moment that we enter into the book. So with that, it's not something that I could easily just sit down and read in one sitting. I definitely had to read it in pieces. Um, and with that, the ending, I didn't like the ending, guys. That's it. I just didn't care for the ending. I didn't care for the ending. I felt like there was all this character development. You're really rooting for Sam and Effie as they not constantly, but they really hit these roads within the relationship where you think, well, that's going to be the end of it. Like, I don't even know how they're going to work through it, but somehow they still find the way to see where one another is coming from and reconcile and make that recommit to one another to work it out and to find a new normal that works for them in their relationship. And even you see it when other characters come in, like when her parents come in, not Sam, Effie's parents come in, when people come in and they kind of test their relationship in terms of like, okay, well, is she gonna leave? Is she gonna go back here, or is he gonna end up just being with this person? And in the end, they innately love one another. They innately want the best for one another. They innately choose, despite the trials and tribulations, to problem solve and find their new normal and happiness together. And for me, that was endearing. It was endearing, and it made me think of Michelle Obama when she was talking about it wasn't Becoming, when she was just talking about like those beginning years with when they have their daughters and they're navigating their careers, and how she was all like, it was terrible. And it's like, okay, I can get, it's kind of giving that, like, I was like, this is probably what Michelle Obama and Barack Obama were going through. Like, they really, maybe not to this extreme, but it's just, you can see how they could, like, I have love for you and I really hate you, or like, I really like I'm not feeling this relationship right now, but I'm going to choose to find our new normal. I'm going to choose to find like what works for us. And I'm like, like it's something about it is endearing. It's endearing to me. And I know, and I don't, wow, there was times I was like, wow, that was really selfish of Effie, or that was really selfish of Sam. I mean, innately human beings are selfish people, but it's the fact that they always kind of reconcile with that. And while it's not immediate, it does come around. Like, it comes back around, which is why I was like, why do we have to end this way? Why couldn't they just, they didn't have to be happy, but maybe even if they chose just not to work it out, and, I feel like all the work and the character development that was done between both characters, it felt like a kind of like a throwaway for I don't know what I was supposed to get from the ending by ending that way. That's how I felt. But there was still some like look, I'm not gonna lie. When I read this book, I was exhausted. Just as exhausted as Effie was. And it's the way that, like, I can't say for sure because I don't know if I've really struggled in that way with my own mental health, but the way that Effie in her own battle with her mental health kind of emoted from the page, I thought it was really well. I thought it was well done. I thought it wasn't like, because like I said, sometimes things can be really over the nose, and things can be like, a feeling can be emoted, like the feeling of her being exhausted, the feeling of her being overwhelmed mentally. You really feel that when you're reading the book. That energy comes across in the page. And I thought, in terms of just the mental health and and motherhood, that I thought that was beautifully done, as well as the way that both characters kind of deal with their marriage. I thought that was beautifully done as well. I thought it really was human. And I think for some people, maybe it might be triggering. I'm not even gonna say it might. It could be triggering just because the way that it really pulls at those feelings. It could be triggering, especially if you've been through those, like, postpartum, or not wanting children, or feeling like you're not an adequate mother, or really going through a rough patch in like the early years of your child's life. It could be triggering. This book could be triggering. I'm not even gonna lie. Also, just in terms of motherhood, this could really, I can see people not people DNFing it because it's touching a little bit too close to home. But for that, I would say, yeah, that was beautifully done. Like, I think it's very human, and something about it, like, it's not extravagant. Like, for me, the book is kind of mundane. Like, it's mundane, but it's very, like, real and touching in a very human and relatable way, that I think is really beautifully done. Which is why I was like, why end this way? Why end this way? Like, why end in this very, yeah, it just didn't, and I don't think it matched with everything that had been built from throughout the beginning of the novel. You know what it kind of reminds me of? Not what it kind of reminds me of, but another book that really talks about motherhood that was really popular, that actually was a Hulu series, Little Fires Everywhere. But just the big theme of motherhood, that's what it really made me think of. And it's not as dramatic. I don't think Rootless is as dramatic. But in all that, I will say that it might be, I could see this as a book club read. I could see this as a book club read because I think there's some really good themes that can make for really good discussion. But overall, was this my most favorite read so far this year? No. And was I a little disappointed? Yes. And I think mostly the ending is playing a big part in this, because I didn't like the ending. I didn't like the ending. But would I still recommend it? I would still recommend it. I would. I would still say, if the summary is, if you want something fast paced, this ain't for you. But if you like a good character driven plot, and with some really, like, personable themes, if you want a good, like, book club discussion, I feel like you would really like this book. I feel like you would. I would feel like you should pick it up, give it a read. But on a scale of like 1 to 5, for me, this is giving a 3.5. Okay, guys, but let me know what you thought. Let me know if you plan on reading this, if you've read it, and how you felt about it. And until the next time, guys, I will see you in another video or book review. Talk to you guys later.